Hey there, two-lane westers. Welcome back to the channel. This is the day 10 recap. I am recording this on Friday. I believe it's June 12th today. It is 11 p.m. This far north in Dawson City, the sun doesn't really go down. Sun probably ain't gonna go down till sometime after midnight. So actually really interesting and really cool. The recap here, real quick. We started the morning in Whitehorse, Yukon, and ended up in Dawson City, Yukon. Let me touch on the we that I just said. I am traveling with Crazy Carl. Carl is the German guy that I met a couple days ago. We just kept bumping into each other. We kind of hit it off. Both got some similar personalities and seemed to make sense. So let's just ride together since we're heading the same direction. Carl is from, like I said, from Germany. He shipped his motorcycle to Chile in South America, rode it to the bottom of South America, and it has rode it all the way up here. And his ultimate goal is to take it up to Prudhoe Bay, and up at the top of Alaska, and then he'll drive it back down to Vancouver and ship his motorcycle home. So he's been gone for, I don't know, a year and a half or something like that. He's flown home for holidays and things like that. He has a wife and kids, and this has been a lifelong dream of his to do this trip. So he's doing it. And like I said, we hit it off pretty good. I don't think we're going to be together more than maybe a couple more days. And then I'm going to have to kind of head my way and part ways with him and go do my own thing. So that's why I say we, because I'm traveling with Crazy Carl. Miles put on today, 352. Total miles on the trip so far, 3751. We got on the road about 8:30 this morning, and we arrived here in Dawson City at about 6 p.m. Weather. Let's cover weather real quick. It was mid 40s. That seems to be the typical temperature in the morning when we get up. It was sunny. Clouds in the sky, but mostly sunny. A really nice day. Got up to, I'd say, high 60s to maybe 70. A great riding day. Super comfortable weather. It was sunny almost the whole day, except for about an hour when we were maybe outside of Dawson City for an hour. We pulled over and put our rain gear on because the sky's getting real dark, and we never got wet. That's the way it goes. You put your rain gear on, it doesn't rain. You don't put it on and you get soaked. It's happened to me many times. The road. We right outside of Whitehorse this morning, we got off the Alaska Highway, and we took what's called the Klondike Highway up here to Dawson City. It's one road that goes all the way up. Great ride, great scenery. Again, big mountains off. It's. I'll get more into this in the next section, but big views, lakes, all of that, just beautiful. The road, though, I think we have to talk about the road itself. I would classify it 4 ways: construction, gravel, potholes, and frost heaves. Let me take them one by one. Construction. We went through 3 different construction sections. All of them had a pilot car that you had to follow, and they were all about 10 miles long. 10 miles of gravel and dirt and dust. Not a big deal. The bikes were just fine, no issues, but just something you got to deal with and wait. And then so that kind of covers construction and gravel. There was other gravel sections where you're just cruising along, and all of a sudden there's 50 yards of gravel. So that's just seems like that's just the way the roads are going to be going forward. Potholes. It's a thing. When you see a little dark colored area of the road, avoid it. It could be a 3-foot circle that's about a foot deep. You don't want to hit that. So you got to be pretty vigilant on watching for potholes and making sure you don't hit a pothole, because you could puncture your tire, bend a rim, have all kinds of bad problems if you do that. So it actually becomes kind of fun because you're like weaving in and out of all the potholes as you're cruising along at about 65 miles an hour. Not a real easy way to get a nice straight line through all that stuff. And then frost heaves. These will come, I think these are going to get worse as we move north yet, but you're flying along and there'll be a bunch of cones on the side of the road. They're marked pretty good. And it is a big dip. And I mean a dip, like you go down and up. And if you're going 60 some miles an hour, it can be kind of like a pretty jolting thing. It's smooth though. It's not like it's a big crack in the road or anything like that. But the frost heaves are another thing you gotta really keep an eye out for. Okay, weather, road I covered. Give me a second for this truck to get by here. Let's talk a little bit about the Yukon itself. A couple of words as I've been spending now 2 days in Yukon. Big, vast. Oh, that little black cat just came and walked up by me. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. There are signs on the, like the road signs. It says Yukon, larger than life. That's a really good way to say it. It is big and empty. It makes you feel really small as a person. Like you're just like a little dot in this big, huge area here. Their population is 48,000 people in an area that's 20% larger than California. Think about that. There's a lot of trees, a lot of mountains, and not a lot of people. I think it's the least populated area in Northern America. I think I have that right. Anyway, Yukon's pretty cool. It's very cool that way. It's special, I think. Real touch on Dawson City. Dawson City is a really cool town. It's a Friday night here. There's a little art thing going on. All the young people are out kind of hanging out outside. Town didn't really start picking up until 10 p.m.-ish. And it seems like now there's a bunch of live music and all the city's kind of coming alive. You can see how bright it is. It's 11 o'clock at night. And it doesn't get dark here until after midnight. So everybody's on a late schedule, I guess, here. Well, Little Alert, right? Cool town, though. A lot of gold rush history. In the 1900s, the Klondike Gold Rush was centered here. And for 2 years, this town went from like nothing to a boom town. I don't know the total population at its heyday, but they've done a really good job of keeping some of the buildings, or the historical buildings around. I took a bunch of pictures, walked around town, Carl and I, and took a bunch of pictures, and I posted those. So check that out. Other things we did today, things we saw. We stopped and looked at one of the steamships. I posted those videos and pictures of the SS Klondike that was in Whitehorse. We stopped at Five Finger Rapids. It's kind of a unique 5 little islands that became a real navigational issue for people that were using the Yukon River to move. These rapids were really dangerous and they had to figure out how to get around it. So there's a little overlook there, and we checked that out. I can't remember where else we stopped. Look at my short videos. That would be the other stuff. I'm probably missing something there. Animals. We're kind of not seeing as many as I was hoping we would. We saw a fox, and it was like a tan colored fox. No, it was not a cat. It was a fox. In the parking lot when we were packing up. I saw a fox on the Klondike Highway shortly after we got out of Whitehorse area, and it was more of a red color, and it actually had an animal in its mouth as it was kind of trotting along. You don't see that too often. And we did see 2 bear up on a hill. One was definitely a black bear, and the other one was probably a black bear, but it was more like a cinnamon or a brown color. I think some of them do that. And what else we got here? People. Haven't been meeting as many people. I mean, we're running into people. I guess the only person I met today was a guy was pulled over He had the same kind of motorcycle as me, a Harley Davidson Pan America. Haven't seen too many of them, so that obviously was a discussion starter. His name is Terry. He's from Tennessee, so he's going to get the nickname Tennessee Terry. We may see him again. I'm not sure. Talked to him a little bit, and then we kind of left, and I haven't seen him or his bike since. But there you go, Tennessee Terry. I believe that's everything on my list here. I'm actually putting lists together to try to be organized. One last thing. The place we are staying at is this place. It's actually pretty cool. There's all these kind of buildings that look like that here in Dawson City. So tomorrow we are going to cross the Yukon River, which is a really big river, on a ferry that goes right out of here in Dawson City. We'll catch that tomorrow morning. Pause here for another truck to go by, and then we are going to take a road that's called the Top of the World Highway. It runs from Dawson City all the way into Alaska, goes through a very remote border crossing, and stops in a couple of weird, quirky little towns. So we'll be doing that, and I'll take videos of that. And then we're going to try to get all the way up to Fairbanks, and then Fairbanks becomes the launching point to go up to the Arctic Circle, and for Carl and maybe me, depending upon weather and how I think about it, to go all the way up to Prudhoe Bay or Dead Horse. So we got a big day tomorrow. It's not quite 400 miles, but not quite 400 miles, but we got some miles to put on, and we're going to want to stop and take pictures and do all that. So it might be kind of a long day. So it's 11. We're going to call it a day, and I'm going to try to get some sleep. So over and out. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.